Hi guys, just quickly, I'm now on Twitch. Feel free to pop over and give me a follow, and now, on with the show. Hello everyone, I'm Nick from nextstepnick.com, and today we're going to talk about Dungeontop. So, I'm a big fan of my roguelikes, I like those style of games, so this was really up my alley. As soon as I saw it was a card game, I was a little bit, I'm not sure. I've seen a few sort of duff card games, but it's not at all. It's a really fun, enjoyable card game. It's got a nice, fresh take on how it works in regard to the game itself. You can pick between like a mage, a warrior, and a rogue, and then you can also pick the specific deck itself. So, for example, different decks do different things. The Tribe of the North, for example, encourage you to build up your deck through different perks. The Guardians are much more just straightforward fighting. And then you've got like the Hand of Kareem, which are like these undead style, one card might sacrifice another, but you get this really nice benefit for that. It's really, really nice, and you can unlock different cards with the gold in game. There's no microtransactions, you literally just earn gold by playing through the game, beating enemies, getting to certain points. And I really had a good time with this. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very sweet game, and the main premise is that you're clicking on different areas and different rooms to move down and explore this dungeon. You come across different random events and also enemies that you can choose to either fight for the XP or run from. You can have a quick look and see what their deck is before you fight them as well, so you don't feel like you're overcommitting. And then when you go into combat, it's basically a case of beating the enemy character by picking the first start cards that you start the round with, redrawing if you want to, and then getting into this board. On this board you can put down different cards that fight against one another. They have different sort of points and hit points, so damage and other things. But you can also do really, really cool synergies, and that's what I like about this the most, I think, is the synergies that are possible. So this card I'm putting down sacrifices an allied card next to it when it's spawned. So what it does then is then summons an ad to replace the thing that you've killed, so an additional monster. Now what I did there was I put it next to a creature that when it dies comes back slightly stronger. So you end up with 4 creatures on the map really, really quickly rather than just 2. You're spending mana to kind of build this deck and put things out, and it's really, really nice. You get different picks between fights as well, where you can find different cards, you can choose which ones you want to use. Likewise, when you level up, you gain skills that carry on throughout the course of the dungeon. There are like random events that can happen as well, ranging from finding weapons, finding different items, all the way through to kind of healing, removing cards that are useless to you, that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's really, really fun. As a main character, you can attack too, and it feels like there's some really nice, enjoyable gameplay here, especially when you come up against things like bosses. So here I'm fighting against a boss. He's got loads and loads and loads of health, so I've got to really think about how I'm tactically going to use my deck here. It's not just a case of saying, oh, I haven't got the cards, I'm going to lose. You really have to look at, okay, this boss is going to do this. You have an idea of what they're going to do. You have an idea of what their monsters do. How am I going to counter this? And it's about getting those creatures on the board, finding a strategy that works for you before they kill you. And I really, really like it. You can get absolutely decimated if you're not careful, so the difficulty is definitely there. It's not something you can just cruise through with some nice cards. You have to really think about your strategies. But it just feels that bit more satisfying when you win. Don't get me wrong, the furthest I've got is the second floor. I got absolutely decimated on the second floor. I've got to really stick with it and just continue to push. But I've had a really good time with all the characters. I think my favourite is the Mage. I think the Mage is a little bit more powerful than the Warrior and the Rogue. She just seems to have slightly better synergies because of the spell element. But it's really, really fun, and you could do a lot worse than trying this. I would definitely recommend it. So if you do want to check out Dungeontop, it's now on Steam, so feel free to. Honestly, really enjoyed it. Anyway, feel free to like, share and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget you can catch all of my content over on nextstepnick.com, and also I'm now on Twitch. So if you search for Next Step Nick on Twitch, I'll see you there.